Hey everybody, welcome back to Absolutely Marvel in DC. I'm Dylan, that's Dan, and today we're going to talk about the previous two episodes of Legends of Tomorrow. So that's Season 6, Episodes 9 and 10. We skipped a week because of scheduling or whatever. I think I might have not watched it last week or something. I don't remember
I think you were sick when we were going to record it or something. But
who's to say? Anyway,
we're here
we'll
now.
start. Yes, we're here, and we're going to start with Episode 9, which was the sitcom episode.
I loved this episode.
Yeah.
I actually really liked it because, and it's funny actually the fact that we're combining these two because they do actually have a plot that does carry over, so it works. No, I really like this one because it was probably one of the, maybe not the first time, but it was fun seeing like a real time, the past changing, affecting a member of the team. That I thought was actually really cool because in this one we have the basically two stoner dudes with a show that Bayrod grew up on, and then in this one it started changing more towards like this corporate thing. And like you slowly see him start turning corporate and turning more like serious throughout the whole episode. I actually really dug it. I really dug it.
Yeah, and it was cool because like the concept is that it's in like a monster of the week where the alien this time is like a little baby who falls onto the set of this show, and the audience like loves the baby alien. So the producer of the show is like, we got to get more of this baby alien, and it turns the show into something that's no good, and I really like how they did the changes because I feel like when they did a similar thing with Zari's character, they just turned it like on a dime, like right away.
Yeah.
But with Bayrod, like we got to see him like realizing it was happening, which was cool.
Yeah.
Instead of just him waking up and being like, I'm all corporate and stinky now. This time he was like the first moment where he's like, oh, that's funny. This mug is like from the business school that my parents think I go to. And he's like, wait a minute, this mug is from the business school my parents think I go to. I'm like, that's fun. He knows.
It was good. It was good. I love how Legends always has that kind of commentary where they know what's going on, but at the same time they don't know because it's a show. But I respect that in Legends and how they do it so well.
Yeah. They're able to toe like the fourth wall line without, I mean, despite like that, sometimes they make jokes that have no foundation and they just straight up break the fourth wall. But like it's fun where they play with these ideas that in like more of an interesting way, in their like specific brand of comedy way, where it's like, you know, where these things are normal to us, like these like crazy time travel shenanigans are just normal to this group of people. So
right.
They're not like, what's going on? They're like, oh, we've been through this before. This is fine. We just need to fix it. And then hijinks ensue.
Right.
But I don't know what else. Other things happened in this episode. Was this the one where?
So we got the baby Gus, which is going to lead into the next episode.
Well, we also got a different baby. I think this is the one where Lita, Mick's daughter, is revealed to be pregnant.
Yes, Mick's daughter is pregnant, as well as Mick. We got Mick pregnant with things on his neck because Kayla put her tentacle in his ear.
Yeah, which, like, that's messed up. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't tentacle people's ears without their permission, guys.
Exactly. It's a PSA from here at Absolutely Marvel in DC. Don't tentacle people's ears.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, so that kind of leads directly into the next episode, which, I mean, I don't have much else to say about episode 9, do you?
Not much else. I just like the fact that you could tell there was a little social commentary of like this is what could have potentially happened at Mandalorian if the producers were like, oh yeah, Baby Yoda is so much more popular. Let's dive so heavily into that. That was a connect, because the second it showed up, I was like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a Baby Yoda reference, because that's very Legends of Tomorrow thing to do. Like, that looks like a baby Jedi or something like that.
Right.
But no, nothing else really in that episode, just that they take Baby Gus with them. Yeah. And then we go into our next episode.
Right. And for like closing thoughts for me, like that episode was it is what I have wanted this season to be, which is just, alien of the week, just shenanigans, not really thinking about continuity and not needing to,
Right.
because it's funny enough to sustain me for the 40 minutes that I'm watching it, which is kind of the opposite of episode 10 for me. I didn't really like episode 10.
Actually, before we swap over, I did have one more thing I wanted to say about 9 that I really liked, was that I love that Legends does not hang on to drama. The fact that like the
Very
entire
true.
episode is around the fact that it's his birthday and that they had all forgotten. He's just like, whatever. It
Whatever.
happens. Let's do this. And
They're
like
all
I was
time
nervous.
travelers.
Exactly. I was like, oh God, are they going to make a whole thing of like, don't forget your friend's birthday? They're just like, nah, it's cool. Whatever. I get it. Let's do this.
That would have been very strange. Although I could see them doing like a musical number about not forgetting your friend's birthday. Totally.
They definitely would. They definitely
Yeah.
would, and it would be the best musical number on television. All right, episode 10.
Yeah, so I didn't like this one as much, mostly because it was like it wasn't really Alien of the Week. So this is the episode where Constantine and Spooner, which is kind of a strange pair, they go off to find the Fountain of Imperium so that Constantine can get his magic back. And there's really not like an Alien of the Week. The Alien of the Week is the same one from last week. It's in the B plot. It's just Gus, but he's growing up real fast. And he's just happening off screen. But I don't know. I feel like this episode it reminded me that there's no plot currently, and
Right.
that like the continuity of what's actually happening isn't super interesting. And I was like, oh right, like there's nothing happening in this show. And I don't think this episode was funny enough. Like there weren't really that many jokes in this episode, and the situation itself like wasn't very funny. So I don't know. What do you think?
So I actually kind of did like this episode because the whole point of the episode was it was very clearly a pivot point for Constantine. It wasn't like a funny or anything like that. It was just a pivotal point that it's not going to be easy to get your powers back. We're going to send Constantine down the dark path that Constantine is pretty much always on, but hasn't been for the show. And I think this is kind of them going, okay, let's put Constantine back in he's kind of a dick path kind of thing. But I'm really glad that they condensed it into one episode. Like the search for the fountain was a single episode. That was it. Like I was worried that this was going to be a subplot for like the next 4 episodes of, oh, they went here and oh, now they're going here. No, it was just hey, look,
Like the
they're
Sarah
this
stuff.
Yeah, like Constantine's a priest now, which is
That was
hilarious
fun.
because it's the exact opposite of Constantine, pretty much. The Gus plot reminded me of that episode of Rick and Morty when Morty has that little 4-armed child that like grows up into an adult in like a single day or something. This episode gave me vibes of that entirely, but it wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't like a massive episode. I think it was more just okay, let's put Constantine in a direction that we can actually use him. Because when Constantine doesn't have magic, there's no point. And this also throws in, now we've got vampires to throw into the mix, which Sarah's still pretty much immune to death, isn't she?
Yeah, because she's got like healing factor now.
Exactly. I have a feeling that that's going to come into play with this vampire plot. I have a feeling that's going to big time come into play with the vampire stuff. But I'm glad we're getting more to Constantine because I love the character. The actor that plays him does a great job. But when they started going into oh no, he's happy and he's with Zari and stuff like that, I'm like, no, this isn't Constantine anymore. Like, can we go revert back? And you could tell they started making steps towards that by swapping the Zaris. I don't know if that happened last
That was
episode.
last week, yeah.
It was last week, which I don't recall that ever being a thing that they could do, but hey, you know what? I mean,
they're playing fast and loose with the rules of these totems, and I don't really care.
Yeah,
I'm cool with. I wish we had more of classic Zari, because we got her back, and she did say at the end of episode 9 that she's going to be here for a little while, so I'm sure we'll get more of her in the next episode. But like, I don't know, I miss her. I want to see more of her. And
Me too.
She was off screen for most of this episode.
Yeah, classic Zari, or the OZ, is a lot better than the social influencer Zari.
I like both of them. I think I definitely agreed like at first, but I think that was everyone's reaction when Zari like first showed up on the show, is like everyone kind of didn't like her until she got her Groundhog Day episode.
Yeah.
And
great episode, by the way.
Yes, fantastic episode. I've warmed up to the new Zari. I think they both have their places. I like what they bring to the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Constantine is like the main, like, I guess, controversial point for me right now, because I liked what they were doing with him. I do kind of agree that he was getting a little stagnant and they need to do something with him. I just don't know if, like, I don't think what they're doing with him is bad, but it's just not, I guess, not the direction I personally would have wanted them to go with him. 'Cause I think like taking his magic away from him, like, to begin with, is like not what they should have done. So like anything that spirals out of that seems like contrived to me, just because it's like, what, you didn't need to take his magic away. It's magic. You could have written anything to give Astra magic and keep John's magic. So I don't know. I don't know where they're going. That's my problem.
I'm gonna throw out a wild theory.
Okay.
What if this turned into, he eventually is gonna have to go back and get Crowley. He makes a deal with Crowley, sells Astra's soul again to get the magic back from Astra.
Oh boy. It's just cyclical.
I mean, because that, like, in the comics, that's like John's whole thing is, well, that one time in Newcastle. And when they kind of cleared that up in this one, I think it would be funny. Honestly, like, if it just went full circle and he sold Astra's soul again.
Yeah. Except
they would probably do some CW thing and be like, no, I'll sell my own soul. Just kidding. Kick her through the door.
I think that's my main problem, is like there's not a lot that's funny in this Constantine plot right now. Like to the point where when they were in the cave and they had such an easy opportunity for like a ridiculous Legends joke, when Spooner John was like, you need to like just do some kind of mantra so that you can focus on the words and get our like magic powers swapped with the little boy and John. And she was like, Spooner said, "Oh, I do have this one song stuck in my head." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. It's gonna be like some stupid like pop song that's like annoying and funny." But it wasn't. It was like a creepy lullaby, which is such a tropey thing to do.
The lullaby is from. It was the lullaby they were singing Gus Gus.
Sure, but like, still,
but yes,
like,
no, I agree.
That's like,
if she just busted out with like Barbie Girl,
yeah. Or the thong song as a callback.
Yes, that would have been fantastic. I would have.
I just like that is like, that would have been such like a, like, I don't know if that would have like made me laugh a lot, but it was just such a strange like this is something that any other show would do.
Right.
Whereas in this show I expected something like more wacky. And that's kind of this whole episode to me, is just like, it wasn't bad, like I didn't dislike it. But it felt more like run of the mill, like filler, like nothing really is going on. And Legends has had some interesting plots, but especially in this season, the plot has not been its strong suit. Like, we've talked a lot about that, especially during the Sarah stuff. So I hope they get back on track. I would put money on the Constantine stuff being the plot for the remaining episodes.
Oh, it 100% will.
Yeah, but like, I don't know where they're gonna go with that. Like, how are all of the Legends gonna get involved with that? I don't know.
I can only see it as basically a Constantine being a major addict and start like one episode. He'll get the legends involved when one episode he like trades off like the totem to get some more of the juice or whatever. And then everyone's going to be like, what? You gave away the Zari? Like the one that you said you love?
Oh, no. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We'll find out.
Who knows? There's only a few episodes left, so, stay tuned to the channel to see what happens, or just, I don't know why you'd be watching this if you're not watching the show, but if you're not watching the show, go watch Legends. It's fun.
Should. It's good.
So yeah, this has been Absolutely Marvel in DC. I'm Dylan, that's Dan. Stay tuned to the channel for more episodes of this and other shows. Catch y'all next time.
See you guys.